Hello students, welcome back. Let's do perimeter and area of plane figures, exercise 25B. Question 13. Each rectangular tile is 40 centimeters long and 30 centimeters wide. How many tiles will be required to cover the floor of a room with length? Now this is the length of the floor, 4.8 meters, and breadth is 2.4 meters. So here first we need to find the area of the rectangular tile, then the area of the floor of the room. So first let's begin with the area of the rectangular tile. So the length of a rectangular tile given to us is 40 centimeters. The width or the breadth of the tile is given as 30 centimeters. Now we need to first find the area, that is length into width. Now before that, if you can see, the floor of the room has a length of 4.8 meters. The unit is meters of length and breadth of the floor of the room. So let's convert this also, the length and the width of the rectangular tile, to meters. It's in centimeters now, we'll convert it to meters. Now we know that 100 centimeters make 1 meter. Therefore, 40 centimeters will be 40 by 100. So that is 40 by 100. Now 40 by 100. Now let me take 40 by itself separately. Let me look at 100. Now there are two zeros. So my decimal point will move two places to the left. So from here to here. So the point comes here 0.40, or this is simply 0.4 meters. Now let's convert 30 centimeters also the same way. So 100 centimeters make 1 meter. 30 centimeters will be 30 by 100. 30 by 100, which is 30, and 100 has two zeros. So my point moves two places to the left. The point comes here, 0.30 or 0.3 meters. So now we can find the area of the tile, length into width. Length is 0.4 meters and width or breadth is 0.3 meters. Now let's multiply 0.4 into 0.3. So 0.4 into 0.3, let's ignore the point, it becomes 4 into 3. 4 3s are 12. Now look at the question. Here there is one decimal place and here also there's one decimal place. So 1 plus 1, 2 decimal places. That means in our answer also there should be 2 decimal places. So my point comes here. Now there are 2 decimal places, 0.12. So the area of the tile is 0.12 meter square. So the area of the tile is 0.12 meters square. Now we have to find the area of the floor. So let's begin. Length of the floor of a room is given to us as 4.8 meters. Now the breadth of the room is given as 2.4 meters. Now we have to find the area, which is length into breadth, which is 4.8 meters into 2.4 meters. So let's multiply 4.8 into 2.4. That is 48 into 24. Ignoring the point. 4 8s are 32, carry 3. 4 4s are 16, 17, 18, 19. Second step, 2 8s are 16, carry 1. 2 4s are 8 plus 1, 9. So now let's add it up. 2, 9 plus 6 is 15, carry 1. 9 plus 1 is 10 plus 1, 11. 1152. Now in the question there is 1 plus 1, 2 decimal places. So our answer also should have 2 decimal places. So this is 11.52 meter square. Now we have found the area of the tile and we have found the area of the room. Now our question is, how many tiles will be needed to cover the floor of the room? So total number of tiles required to cover the floor of the room will be area of the floor divided by area of each tile. So let's do that. area of the floor is 11.52 meters square. So 11.52 meters square. And the area of each tile is 0.12 meters square. So now let's work this out. 11.52 divided by 0.12. Now, when we divide two decimal numbers, we need to be careful. 11.52 divided by 0.12. Now, the denominator has to change to a whole number. So that means my point has to move two places to the right if it has to become 12, isn't it? So if it has to move two places to the right, I have to multiply by 100 because 100 has two zeros. So if I multiply this by 100, I need to multiply the numerator also by 100. So what will I get now? When the point moves two places to the right, because we are multiplying by 100, now my number will be 1152 divided by 12. So both are whole numbers. Let's do that division. 1152 divided by 12. Let's multiply 12 into 9. So 12 nines are 9 twos are 18, carry 1. 9 ones are 9 plus 1, 10. So 12 nines are 108. We can use that here. 108 minus 5 minus 8 you can't do. You need to borrow. So 15 minus 8 is 7. Here I have a 0 and a 0. I bring down 2. Now my number is 72. 12 sixes are 72 minus 0. So we've got 96. So when you divide these two numbers, you get 96. And what is 96? It is the total number of tiles required to cover the floor of the room. So the total number of tiles needed is 96. So we need 96 tiles to cover the floor of the room. Question 14. Each side of a square tile is 60 centimeters. How many tiles will be required to cover the floor of a hall with length 50 meters and 36 meters? So here also, first we need to find the area of the square tile, then we have to find the area of the floor of the hall. So let's begin. So here it is, side of a square tile is 60 centimeters. So that is 60 centimeters. Now if you look, you can see that the floor has a length and breadth of units meters. Okay, whereas here the square tile, the unit is centimeters. So let's convert the centimeters to meters. So 100 centimeters make 1 meter. Therefore, 60 centimeters will be 60 by 100. So let's take 60 here. Denominator 100 has two zeros. So the point will move two places to the left and come here. So this becomes 0.60, or we can simply say 0.6. Now it has become meters. So now let's find the area of the tile. So the formula to find the area of the tile is side square. So this is side square, which is side into side. This will be 0.6 meters into 0.6 meters. So let's multiply that. 0.6 into 0.6. So ignore the point, 6 into 6. 6 6 are 36. Now in the question there are two decimal places. So answer also will have two decimal places. So the point moves from here and comes here. So we get 0.36. So the area of the tile is 0.36 meter square. So this is the area of the tile. So we've got the area of the tile to be 0.36 meters square. Now let's find the area of the floor of the hall. Length of the floor of the hall is given to us as 50 meters. The breadth of the floor is 36 meters. Now area will be length into breadth, which is 50 into 36. So let's multiply 50 into 36. So 50 into 36. 6 zeros are 0, 6 fives are 30. Second step, 3 zeros are 0, 3 fives are 15. 0, 0, 3 plus 5 is 8 and 1, 1800 when we add this. So we have got the area of the floor to be 1800 meter square. So we've got the area of the tile to be 0.36 meters square and area of the floor is 1800 meters square. Now we need to find how many tiles will be required to cover the floor. So let's do that. The total number of tiles required to cover the floor of the hall will be area of the floor divided by area of each tile. So area of the floor we found out to be 1800 meters square and the area of each tile is 0.36 meter square. Now we need to divide this. So once again here, when you divide a whole number by a decimal number, so the divisor is the decimal number, we convert it to a whole number. So 0.36, we're going to make it 36. And we can do that only if we multiply it by 100. So let's multiply the numerator also by 100. So what happens when you multiply by 100 is the point moves 2 places to the right. So for 0.36, when the point moves here, it becomes 36. And here, in the case of 1800, it is already a whole number. When you multiply it by 100, you need to add 2 more zeros. So now what is our number? We have 1, 8. We had 2 zeros. We are adding 2 more zeros. So now this becomes 1,80,000 divided by 36. So let's do that division. So we have 4 zeros there divided by 36. Now 36 into 5. How much is that? 36 into 5. 5 6s are 30, carry 3. 5 3s are 15 plus 3, 18. So we can use that number. 36 into 5 is 180. Now we can minus and carry on. Now we only have zeros to bring down, which we can take on top. So I have this 0 here, this 0 here, and this 0 here. So our final remainder will be simply 0. So what do we have there? 5,000. So this is equal to 5,000. And what does this stand for? 5,000 is the total number of tiles required to cover the floor. So the number of tiles required to cover the floor we have found to be 5,000. So 5,000 is our final answer. Question 15. The perimeter of a square plot is given and we are asked to find its area. Now to find the area of a square, the formula is side square or side into side. That means we need to know the value of its side. But here the value of side is not given. We've only been given the perimeter. So with the help of that, we are going to first find the value of the side. So let's begin. Perimeter of a square plot is 360 meters. The side of a square plot with the help of the perimeter will be perimeter by 4. So perimeter is 360 meters. We're going to divide this by 4. So let's divide 360 by 4. 36, that will be 4 nines are 36. 36 minus 0. So I take the 0 up. Minus 0. So we have got 90. So the side of the square plot is 90 meters. Now that we have found the side, we can find its area. So the area of the square plot, the formula is side square, which is side into side, side into side, and that will be 90 meters into 90 meters. So let's multiply 90 into 90. We can multiply 9 into 9. 9 nines are 81 and add these two zeros. So we've got 8,100. So here 8,100 And since we're finding the area, this will be 8,100 meter square. So we have found the area of this square plot to be 8,100 meter square. Now we have to find the cost of fencing its boundary at the rate of 40 rupees per meter. Fencing the boundary means we are talking about the perimeter. So rate of fencing per meter is 40 rupees and the perimeter is 360 meters. Now we have to find the cost of fencing, that is perimeter into rate. So perimeter is 360 meters and the rate is 40 rupees per meter. So rupees 40 per meter. Now we need to multiply 360 into 40. So let's multiply 360 into 40 now. So we have 0. Second step, 4 zeros are 0, 4 sixes are 24, carry 2, 4 threes are 12, 13, 14. Let's add this up. 0, 4, 4 and 1. So we've got 14,400, which is the cost. So we write the unit as rupees. So the cost of fencing is 14,400 rupees. So this is our answer, 14,400. You must remember when we are talking about fencing, we are talking about the perimeter. So that's why we have perimeter into the rate. Now let's continue. Here we have to find the cost of leveling the plot. Leveling means we are talking about area. Leveling the plot at 60 rupees per square meter. So the rate of leveling per meter we've been given as 60 rupees per square meter. The area of the plot we found out to be 8,100 meter square. Now we're going to find the cost of leveling and the formula for that is area into rate. So area is 8,100 meters square and the rate is rupees 60. So let's multiply these two. 8,100 into 60. Whenever numbers end in 0, it's always easy to multiply. So let's ignore the 0 for now and multiply 81 into 6. So 6 ones are 6, 6 eights are 48. Now we can add all the zeros. So let's count the number of zeros. 1, 2, 3. So let's add the 3 zeros. So now we've got a number 4,86,000. So let's write that down. 4,86,000. And since we are finding the cost, the unit will be rupees. So we have found the cost of leveling the plot to be 4,86,000 rupees. Question 16. The perimeter of a rectangular field is given to us and its length is given to us. We have to find its breadth. So the perimeter of the field is 500 meters. Its length is 150 meters. Now we have to find its breadth using the formula perimeter by 2 minus length. So perimeter is 500 meters, dividing it by 2 and then we minus length which is 150 meters. So let's divide 500 by 2. 2 2s are 4 minus 1, 10, 2 5s are 10 minus 0. So I've got 250. So 500 by 2 becomes 250 meters minus 150 meters. 250 minus 150 is 100 meters. So I have found the breadth to be 100 meters. Now we are asked to find its area. So to find the area, first we need to write the length of the rectangular field, which is given to us as 150 meters. The breadth of the field we have found out now to be 100 meters. So the area will be length into breadth. So 150 into 100. So both are meters, 150 meters into 100 meters. Now let's multiply 15 into 1. So 15 ones are 15. Let's count the number of zeros. 1, 2, 3. Now let's add all those zeros. 1, 2, 3. So we've got 15,000 meters square. So the area is 15,000 meters square. So we found the breadth, the answer to the first question, to be 100 meters. And we found area, which is the answer to the second question, to be 15,000 meter square. So here we are asked to find the cost of ploughing the field at the rate of 1 rupee 20 paisa per square meter. So when we are talking about ploughing, we are talking about the area of the field. So area of the field is 15,000 meters square. 15,000 meter square. Then the rate of ploughing the field is given to us as 1 rupee 20 paisa per square meter or per meter square. So one of these per meter square. Now to find the cost of ploughing the field, we have to multiply area into rate. So 15,000 meter square is the area. The rate is 1 rupee 20 paisa per meter square. So now we have to multiply these two. So let's do this multiplication. 15,000 into 1.20. Now we'll ignore the point. We'll make it 120 and multiply. So let's multiply 15 into 12 and then we'll add the zeros. 2 5s are 10, carry 1. 2 1s are 2 plus 1, 3. Now the next step here is 1 5s are 5, 1 1s are 1. So we've only multiplied 15 into 12 just to make our multiplication easier. Now let's go back and count the number of zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me write 180 first and then put the 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just to make our work easier. So when you put your commas in the right places, you get this answer, which is 18 lakh. Now before you put your commas, before you get your final answer, let's go back to the question and check the number of decimal places in the question. In the question, there are 2 decimal places. So in our answer also, there should be 2 decimal places. That means it comes here. So the cost will be 18,000 rupees. So let's write down our answer here. The cost is 18,000 rupees. Cost of ploughing the field we have found now to be 18,000 rupees. So we have found all 3 answers. Question 17. The cost of flooring a rectangular hall at the rate of 64 rupees per square meter is 2048. This is the total cost. If the breadth of the hall is 5 meters, find its length. Now to find the length of a rectangular hall, we either need to have the area or the perimeter given to us. Now here, which one do we use? Now here it says flooring. Flooring means the hall floor is covered. So that means they're talking about area. So we need to use the formula for area. Now length will be area divided by breadth. Now breadth is given but area is not given. So the first thing we need to do is find the area. So let's begin. Cost of flooring a rectangular hall is 2048. This is the total cost. Rate per square meter is 64 rupees. Now the breadth is given to us as 5 meters and we need to find the area of the rectangular hall. That is done by dividing the cost of flooring the hall by the rate per square meter. So the cost of flooring the floor of the hall is rupees 2048 and the rate per square meter is 64 rupees. So we have to divide 2048 by 64. So let's do that. 2048 divided by 64. Now 64 into 3, let's multiply and see. 3 4s are 12, carry 1. 3 6 are 18 plus 1, 19. We can use this. So 64 into 3 is 192. So let's subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2. I need to borrow here. 10 minus 9 is 1. 0. I bring down 8. So now here we have 128. 64 into 2 is 128. So our answer for this division is 32. That means the area of the rectangular hall is 32 meters square. So now that we have the area, we can find the length. The formula to find the length is area divided by breadth. So the area is 32 meters square and the breadth is 5 meters given to us. So now let's divide 32 by 5. So 32 divided by 5. 5 sixes are 30 minus 2. Now I can continue my division by putting a point here and carrying that point up. Now after the point I can put zeros. I bring that 0 down, it's 20. 5 fours are 20. So minus, I've got 0. So here I've got my answer as 6.4. That means the length of the hall is 6.4 meters. So we've got our answer. Length of the hall is 6.4 meters. Now we have to find its perimeter. The length of the hall we found out to be 6.4 meters. The breadth of the hall is given to us as 5 meters. And perimeter of the hall, the formula is 2 into length plus breadth, which is 2 into 6.4 meters plus 5 meters. So that will be 2 into, now let's add up 6.4 and 5. So if you make it like decimals, it becomes 5.0. And now we can add 4. 6 plus 5 is 11. That is 11.4. So 2 into 11.4 meters. So let's multiply that. 11.4 into 2. 11.4 into 2. Ignore the point. So 114 into 2. 2 4s are 8, 2 1s are 2, 2 1s are 2. Now go back to the question. This one decimal place. So put one decimal place in your answer. So what do we get? We get 22.8 meters. So this is the perimeter of the hall. We have found the second answer. The perimeter of the hall is 22.8 meters. Now we have to find the cost of fixing a border. So border means we are talking about perimeter. So we are going to find the cost of fixing a border of very small width along its boundary at the rate of 60 rupees per meter. So the perimeter of the hall we found out to be 22.8 meters and the rate of fixing a border is 60 rupees per meter. That means for 1 meter it is 60 rupees. That means we need to find for 22.8 meters. So the cost of fixing the border will be perimeter into rate. So perimeter is 22.8 meters and rate is 60 rupees per meter. So we need to multiply these two numbers. So that is 22.8 into 60. So ignoring the point, 228 into 60. So let's multiply. Now 6 8s are 48, carry 4. 6 2s are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, carry 1. 6 2s are 12 plus 1, 13. Now let's add this up. 0, 8, 6, 3 and 1. Now let's go back to the question. In the question there is one decimal place. Our answer also should have one decimal place. So now we have 1368. So let's write that down, 1368. And since it is the cost, we write rupees. The unit is rupees. So we have found the cost of fixing a border to be 1368 rupees. Question 18. The length of a rectangle is 3 times its breadth. And if the area of the rectangle is 1875 square centimeters, find its perimeter. So we don't know what the length is and the breadth is, and we only know the area, and we have to find the perimeter. So let the breadth of the rectangle be x centimeters. Then in that case, the length will be, it says 3 times its breadth. So if breadth is x, 3 times x will be 3x. So now the breadth is x, the length is 3x. That means the area of the rectangle is equal to length into breadth. Length is 3x, breadth is x. And the area of rectangle is given to us as 1875 square centimeter or centimeter square. It's already given to us. Now 3x into x will be 3 into x to the power of 1 plus 1, which is 3x to the power of 2. So this is equal to the area, which is 1875 centimeters square. So that means x square will be 1875 centimeters square divided by 3. How did it become division? Now this 3 is multiplication. So when we transpose it to the other side, it becomes division. So now let's divide 1875 by 3. 3 sixes are 18 minus, I bring down 7, 3 twos are 6 minus 1 and 5, 3 fives are 15 minus. So I've got 625. So x square is 625. What will x be? So x will be the square root of 625. So now let's find the square root of 625. So let's take 625. We're going to do short division and find out all the prime factors of 625. We're going to divide it by 5. 5 ones are 5. Now I carry 1 from here because this is 6. Now it's become 12. 5 twos are 10. What is left is 2, 25. 5 fives are 25. We'll continue to divide with 5. 12 I have, so 5 twos are 10. 12, so 2 is left, 25. 5 fives are 25. Again I divide by 5. 5 fives are 25. 5 ones are 5. Now I have all the prime factors of 625. Let me write it down. 5 into 5, 4 times. Now since we are finding the square root, I'm going to put them in groups of 2. So this is one group with 2 inside, another group with 2 numbers inside. Both are the same numbers. Now I'm going to take 1 from each. 5, 1 from here, 5. So I've taken 1 from each group. Now I'm going to multiply these two. 5 fives are 25. So I have found the value of x to be 25. Now here the length is 3x. That means 3 into 25. And 25 threes are 75 centimeters. Now the breadth we said will be x, and x we know is 25, so we have 25 centimeters. Now we can find the perimeter of the rectangle using this formula 2 into length plus breadth. That is 2 into length is 75 centimeters and breadth is 25 centimeters. So perimeter will be 2 into 75 plus 25 is 100. 100 centimeters. 2 into 100 is 200. So our answer here is the perimeter of the rectangle is 200 centimeters. So we have found out all our answers. We've come to the end of this exercise. We'll stop with this, children. Thank you.